Debuted in the 60s, it was named after a coastal community in California. Sadly, its name, however, in the Philippines is the butt of some jokes, as people like to add a G to the end. Sorry. Now, on their latest generation, Chevrolet says it has better fuel efficiency, connectivity, and safety features more than ever before. Let's find out what they're going on about in this, the 2018 Malibu. The HIDs with IntelliBeam are housed in a smaller frame, which complement the smaller slats that are found all over the front clip. Now, there is no large gap to speak of to allow the air in, but the aforementioned slats are equal to the task. Unique to the car are the lights down here, which are actually your DRLs. And two is the emblem, the very proud emblem, I should say, because it is textured and ribbed. Sorry, but it does feel very cool. Even the keys emblem has texture. Nitpick if I may, there is just one aspect on the front clip that I don't really appreciate. There's a line that can be found on the hood that stretches all the way down past the emblem and to the chin. How much does it bug me? Well, not that much. Down on the side, you'll notice two lines that begin at the front doors and slowly but surely taper as you get to the rear, giving the car a very streamlined, very fluidic look. Now, the car does sit on 18-inch mags fitted with 45 series tires. Now, if you take that and combine it with this beautiful fast back right here and this sharp departure angle, it does make for a very good-looking stance. Now, for some, the rear overhang might be much, but there is good reason for that. In fact, there are 447 liters of reasons. Now, it's not the largest capacity in its class, but it's certainly not the smallest. Space good enough that can hold Professor Clump. However, getting him in, that might be a problem through these Renee Zellweger lips. Kind of tight. Golf bags, even two, not a problem. Medium-sized suitcases, not a problem. However, anything larger than that, you might need Steven Tyler lips, and that's a completely different story. Oh, worth mentioning, the two exhausts tucked away very nicely in chrome. Very nice touch. Now, the toys back here include two cup holders on the center armrest. You've got two air vents right here, two USB charging ports, and a 12-volt socket. There are also speakers on either door and two more speakers behind the passengers. Now, that's 4 out of the 9 speakers in total inside the car. Now, the wheelbase of this car is actually 4 inches longer than the previous model, which means check out this legroom. It's redonkulous. There's enough space in here to fit 2 large adults easily, and even an average-sized adult in the center, thanks to the low tunnel found on the ground. Safety? Yep. Apart from the standard airbags found up front, there are also airbags found on the B-pillars and on either side of the rear seats. Not bad. The color scheme is the first thing that may not catch your attention because it's pretty subdued, really. It's got grays and browns, very comfortable, very laid back. Now, your 4 gauges up front and your trip computer along with the air controls are, well, they're pretty adequate. As too are the buttons found on the steering wheel, different though in the fact that they're all the same height, covered by a thin rubber film so that it's non-slip. That's pretty cool. You've also got your dual pane sunroof and your 2 cup holders up front and loads of cubby spaces that you can put all your knickknacks in, including actually a very smart way to put your umbrella away. Now, not only are the front seats comfortable because they can knock Vincent out in 5 minutes or less, but they can also accommodate much taller people. Now, you'd expect the driver to have power, right? Well, the passenger seat has power too. In fact, both of them can move back and down to accommodate much taller people. And not only does the driver have lumbar support, so does the passenger. The lumbar support comes out so much that it can be like a basketball at your back, say, put it on number 4, and it can retract all the way in to the same number of wins that the Cavs have in the 2018 finals, which is 0. I'm gonna get flack for that, aren't I? That's the truth. The 8-inch screen, which also doubles as your reverse camera, by the way, and is extremely clear, I must add, also has the MyLink system, which is a breeze to use. In fact, we find that it's one of the easier head units that we've ever had to test on any of the units that we've gotten. It's really fun to use, and while you're using it, you can also charge your phone in the wireless system down here. It might be difficult for bigger phones such as a Note or anything larger than that, but the smaller wireless units, not a problem. The one thing that I have to add about this unit is that the whole thing is integrated into the dash very, very well. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, and that, I gotta say, that I do love. Under the hood, there's only one engine variant available in the Philippines, which is an inline-4 2-liter turbocharged gasoline engine, which produces 250 horses and 353 Nm of torque in an executive sedan. Not bad. But even with all that power, in and out of the dreaded weekend traffic of Metro Manila, the Malibu was still able to do 10 kilometers per liter. Frugal. A part of the ease of which Chevy's MyLink is just a joy to use, whether you're an Apple user or an Android user, and it also has 9 speakers all around the car, which are all Bose, louder than kids on a Saturday morning. It also has the following technologies. It's got adaptive cruise, it's got lane keep assist, emergency braking, and semi-autonomous parking, to name a few. Oh, and get this, there are also 12 sensors all around the car, so that even Catherine Zeta-Jones could not escape these guys. The level of comfort driving a Malibu is, well, it's pretty good. The steering is light, yet it's not disconnected from the road. Yes, there are some cheap plastics that can be found all around the cabin, and the road noise does kind of creep up on you just a little bit, but it does not take away from the very comfortable leather seats. As a driver, you'll have, well, really very little to complain about, and even much less as a passenger. There are no paddle shifters to speak of. In fact, it's a bit confusing when you run your fingers down the back of the steering wheel where you'll find audio controls. Now, to manually change gears and provide you with a more sport feel, pop the transmission into L, which activates the plus-minus selectors on the shifter. Fuel efficient? Check. Safety? Big check. Connectivity? Check. The Chevrolet Malibu LTZ is available at 2,131,888 Philippine pesos. Now, it's a bit pricey, yes, I understand, not the cheapest thing out there, but it's also not the most expensive executive sedan available in the Philippines. And you do have to consider that you do get a boatload of toys for the driver. Now, it does also give us, the consumers, something that we do very much appreciate, an option. And regardless of what I think about that line, yeah, it's a good-looking option.